Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Now that my 2 informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. And guys, it appears that Kinobody is shook. I've got him stirred up to the point to where he's trying to train squats and deadlifts now. The very exercises he said will destroy and ruin a physique, I've got him doing them. Maybe he needs to refund the money for all those books. So let me put on my +5 out of weaponsmithing. Work on skilling up my crafting a little bit and let's talk about this. And the reason I have to go so hard on Kinobody is because he came into my channel with his real channel and talked about how he was stronger than me. Talk about how he was stronger than me. And then he puts up pathetic footage of his squatting and deadlifting. Just for those who don't know, when you say you're stronger than someone, that usually means you can lift more weight than they can, right? This is a numerical value. In other words, if you're stronger than someone who deadlifts 500 pounds, that means you can deadlift 501 pounds or more. If they squat 500, you need to be able to squat more than 500. See how that works, guys? It's called being stronger. It's a numerical value. It's about how much force you can generate against an external object. But he's over here trying to squat now. You know, and it's kind of funny, you know, because he fancies himself the Bruce Wayne of the fitness industry. Right? That's what he's been doing, talking about being Bruce Wayne. And I guess my response to that, now that he's trying to learn how to squat. Oh, Bruce. You think that the squat is your ally, but you've merely adopted the squat. I was born in the squat rack, molded by it. I didn't even have an upper body there until I was already a man. And by then, it was nothing to me but weakness. So that's the funny thing, and I gotta harp on this because came and bragged about how he's stronger than me. Now, he did 270 on the front squat, no chalk, or a triple. And he said his goal, his strength goal, is to get to 315 for a triple. So in other words, a guy who's stronger than me has a strength goal to be weaker than me. Because I can front squat more than 315 for a triple. Just putting that out there right now. Just throwing that back out there. See, guys, I've been squatting again a couple months. See, my strength goal for this year is to squat 500 high bar without a belt. See, that's my goal. Not front squat 315. I'm trying to get to 500 on an Olympic style high bar squat without a belt this year. Hopefully before I turn 42 this year. Now, you guys do the math. Most people who train the front and the back squat, and just ask any strength conditioning coach in the world, can front squat about 85% of what they back squat. So in other words, he still would be a sub 400 pound squatter if he reaches his target goals. See, 400 pounds is less than 500 pounds. Again, for anyone struggling with the math, because Kinobody's not real good at math. See, 500 is a bigger number than 400. And I can already do over 400 for reps paused without a belt. My work sets are over that right now. Just kind of throwing that out there. You know, and that's the funny thing. Guy comes in, he's stronger than me. Deadlifts 405 for 2. So in other words, I can pause squat more than he can deadlift. But he's stronger than me. And then he's talking about, well, my goal is to have explosive legs. Well, why are you doing high rep Romanian deadlifts? You think that's how you build explosiveness? Again, this is a guy who's selling his information to people. People are buying stuff from a guy who's training lifts that he wrote in books that he charges $50 for will destroy your physique. But now he's doing them. Why is he doing them? Because I have him shook. Because I have him scared. Because I called him out on his BS. I called him out, and now he's taken everything he wrote about in books, his superhero physique book that he's sold thousands of copies of, charging people money, and doing the opposite of it because his fragile ego can't handle a stronger, more aggressive male calling him out on it, because that is weakness. It had nothing to do with physique. There are plenty of dudes who have aesthetic physiques who are strong squatters and strong deadlifters. Tons of them. It's because he's lazy. And it's because he thrives on being weak. He's scared of hard work. Because he grew up privileged. He's scared of work. And he got called out on it. So now, changing his whole approach. So is he going to refund money? For all those books he sold telling people not to do squats and deadlifts now that he's actually trying to do them. Is he going to refund the money for those books for the bad advice he sold that he now knows is incorrect once he was called out on it? That's the thing. These guys flip-flop. You guys notice that how easy it is to get these guys to flip-flop? Look how much Strap-On Destiny flip-flopped around when he got called out on stuff. You guys don't know how to handle it when someone who actually does lift and knows how to lift, who has experience, calls them out on this stuff. These guys who sell all these books and sell BS and gimmicks. They don't know how to handle it. They get scared. They change what they're doing because their fragile egos can't handle it. Because that's human nature, guys. That is how male pecking order works here in the real world. That's how it works. When a more dominant male calls you out, you have to respond. Well, you have to if you have a fragile ego. If you don't, you just laugh it off. You laugh it off. But the problem is that some of these guys, they're making their living in the lifting world, and you can't just brush that off when a lifter comes in and says, "No, bro, I don't think so. What's this nonsense? What's this fluff you're promoting?" Scared to squat. Scared to deadlift. Because you think it's going to ruin your pretty little physique. You'll no longer be able to be a twink. Won't be able to fit in skinny jeans anymore. But the thing is, he's talking about being explosive. He doesn't know how to train to be explosive. He has no clue. No clue at all. Just like he doesn't know how to perform a bench press correctly. Never bothered to learn. Never bothered to have anyone teach him. We've broken it down. He doesn't know how to do the lift safely. He's going to hurt himself. He's going to hurt people who are watching him. Now he's talking about training to be explosive. Has no clue how to train for explosiveness. Give you a pro tip. High rep Romanian deadlifts and lunges do not make you explosive. Let me rephrase that. They do not bring out your genetic potential for explosiveness, because you will never be explosive if you don't have the potential for it. But achieving your individual potential, that is not the exercise selection that you utilize to do that. That's not it at all. Not going to work. Why he's not explosive. You know, the thing is, and then at the end, he gives this mediocre front squat performance. And he's been training it. He's been training it for weeks and weeks. I thought he was strong. Training it for weeks. It's mediocre performance, mediocre goal. And then what does he do? He jumps up on a little low countertop. People say, well, that's not high, guys. That's not a vertical jump. When we talk about measuring your vertical, that doesn't mean your knees and legs go up in the air, guys. A vertical is straight up. Sorry about that. There's traffic out there. Vertical is straight up in the air, and your feet, it's where how far they are off the floor. When you jump straight up, and your legs are locked out below you. If you guys go watch real athletes who actually are explosive, who have coaches train them to be explosive and reach their genetic potential for explosiveness, there are guys who are jumping up on 5 and 6 foot tall boxes. Not countertops down here. Not countertops that are waist high. 5 foot, 6 foot boxes. All right, that's what explosive athletes jump up on. And there are plenty of them out there doing it on YouTube. I would suggest to people, if your goal is to be explosive, you might want to find out what these guys are doing. I promise you it's not 8 and 10 rep Central Romanian deadlifts. That's not how you get there. Absurdity. It's the blind leading the blind, because he's got a pretty body and he has money to market and he has money to pay for advertising. All these little soy boys flock to him because they want to be pretty. They want Lamborghini. They want the girls he pays to be in his videos. That's what they want. And they think that if they train like him, they'll have that. He has no clue what he's doing. He has no clue at all. Everything that he knows, he stole from Martin Burkham and watered it down. All right, he doesn't really know that much about training. His training knowledge is below average. It's at best on par with the average personal trainer at a box gym. And that might be a stretch. Yet all these kids are convinced they're going to buy books from this clown. And they're going to wonder why they're still weak and why they're still tiny after he taught them how to be explosive and how to have a superhero physique and how he's the Batman, the Bruce Wayne of the fitness industry. No, he's just a spoiled kid who inherited some money. He doesn't even know the fundamentals of strength and conditioning. Not at all. And he's going to end up hurting himself, and when he does, that'll be the end of his little empire. He'll have to move on to something else because he doesn't know how to train. He will get hurt. And he's going to take a whole bunch of these kids with him. And he sure as hell doesn't need to be going around to actual strength athletes and telling us that he's stronger than us. Because he's not. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.